Before the cross, before the manger, before the prophets, there was already a name sealed in the heavens, a name the world was not meant to speak, a name that was chosen and then hidden. On this channel, we've said it before. The Book of Enoch is no myth. It is a crack in time, a forgotten warning, a revelation sealed since the beginning. And today, we open it once again. We return to the book that spoke of things yet to come. We return to the text that named the Messiah, long before history knew him. How is it possible that such an ancient document describes the Son of Man in detail? One who will reign over the righteous, one who will judge the mighty, one who will sit at the right hand of the Most High. He's not a symbolic figure, not a prophetic shadow. He's a precise description, with a name, with a title, with a purpose. How can there be a judgment foretold before the fall? How can redemption be spoken of before sin even exists? The Book of Enoch doesn't just mention him. We've said it before. It names him, it reveals him, and it hides him. Today, on Divine Code, we return to one of the most hidden and unsettling prophecies. Who is the Son of Man who was chosen before creation? And why was he hidden until the end? And what if he never left? What if he was always here, but we refused to see him? A book religion. Forgot. We've said it before on this channel. The Book of Enoch is not new to us. We've dedicated an entire playlist to it. We've explored its content, its history, and its censorship. Because yes, this book was removed from the Bible we know today. It was rejected, silenced, and erased from the canon. But its content remains intact, uncomfortable, powerful. So, why are we bringing it up again? Because among all its visions, its judgments, and dreams, there is one figure we still haven't fully understood: the Son of Man, a being described with the highest titles: the Chosen One, the Righteous, the Judge, the one who will reign over the living and judge the dead. But how could Enoch describe someone like that? Centuries before Christ, how could he speak of his throne, his authority, and his glory, if he hadn't even been born yet? This is where the conflict begins, because Enoch doesn't present the Messiah as someone who will come, but as someone who already is, as someone hidden from the beginning, chosen before the creation of the world. In 1 Enoch 48, it's clearly written, "And for this reason, he was chosen and hidden before him, before the world was created, and forever." This idea alone breaks the structure of traditional religious narrative. He is not just a prophet, not just a vision of the future. He is a being that has existed before time itself. And this is where we start to connect the dots, because it's not only Enoch who speaks of this. Also in the book of Revelation, in the words of Jesus in the Gospels, and in texts like Proverbs 8 or the Gospel of John, there are references to someone who was already with God from the beginning. In John 17:5, Jesus says, "And now, Father, glorify me in your presence with the glory I had with you before the world existed." Coincidence or confirmation that what Enoch saw was not a symbol, but a revelation that institutional religion chose not to preserve? The Son of Man, according to Enoch, is not a figure built through time. He is a timeless being, a being sealed in glory, waiting for the moment to be revealed. The prophecy of concealment. He was chosen and hidden. There is a verse in the Book of Enoch, one that doesn't scream, one that doesn't seek attention, but it changes everything. Chapter 48, verse 6, it says the following: "And for this reason, he was chosen and hidden before him, before the world was created, and forever." Chosen and hidden. not by men, not by governments, not by religions, hidden by God. How do you explain that? How can it be understood that the Messiah, the Savior, the Son of Man, was set apart from the world from the very beginning? This is not about a prophetic wait. We're not talking about someone who will come someday. We're talking about someone who was already prepared long before the world even knew what time was. Why hide him? What was he being protected from? Or from whom? Was it out of mercy? Was it to prevent humanity from destroying him too soon? Or was it because his very appearance in history would be the final sentence? If he was hidden, then we're not facing a visible Messiah. We're not speaking of a glorious Redeemer surrounded by crowds and miracles. We're speaking of a silent presence, dormant, invisible, hidden within the folds of time, waiting for the day he would be revealed. The problem is that when he is, he will not come to save. He will come to judge. The presence no one recognized. The Son of Man was chosen, and he was hidden. But Enoch never says he was erased, nor exiled, nor forgotten. He simply says that his name is before the Lord of Spirits, from the beginning, from forever. What if that means he was never far away? What if his presence was never interrupted, but hidden in plain sight? In chapter 62, Enoch describes the moment when he will be revealed. And the Son of Man was revealed to the righteous and to the chosen, and that light shone upon them. Revealed, not descended, not born, not sent, revealed, as if he was already there, as if he had always been. What if he already walked among us? What if he was in the plazas, on the roads, in the faces? What if we saw him, but did not recognize him? Not as a mystical figure, not as a religious name, but as that deep presence that unsettles, that gaze that pierces, that silence that strips us bare. The Son of Man, according to Enoch, doesn't need to be announced. He only needs to be revealed. And when he is, there will be no room left for denial, because his presence demands no explanation, only reaction. Perhaps the most unsettling thought is not that he might come one day, but that he's always been here. And the world built its entire history ignoring him. And when they see him, it will be too late. The time of silence comes to an end. The moment arrives, and the Son of Man is no longer hidden. Enoch describes it this way: and the kings, the mighty, and all who rule the earth will not be able to lift their eyes toward him, and they will be filled with shame and cast out from his presence. No one will be able to meet his gaze. No one will be able to justify what they've done, because he will no longer come as the hidden one. Now he will come as the revealed, as the judge, as the end. The day Enoch describes is not a day of redemption, not of miracles, not of forgiveness. It is a day of downfall, a day of shame, a day of fire. Thrones will crumble, crowns will rust, words will die in the throat, because the glory that was sealed from the beginning now burns in the eyes of the Son of Man. And that fire is not symbolic. It is eternal. It is irreversible. No one will be able to say, I didn't know. No one will be able to say, I didn't see it coming, because he was already announced, already named, already hidden, and now already revealed. And when they see him, it will be too late. The great truth we refused to see. We always said we were waiting for the coming, the manifestation, the glorious appearance of the Savior. But what if it wasn't him who had to appear, but we who had to open our eyes? What if the concealment wasn't a punishment, but a protection? What if what God hid was out of mercy? Because maybe humanity wasn't ready for such pure justice, for such perfect truth, for such absolute presence. Maybe the blindness wasn't imposed, Maybe it was chosen. Maybe the Son of Man wasn't hidden. Maybe he was ignored. Ignored by the noise, by arrogance, by religion, by human thrones, by hardened hearts. It's not that he didn't come. It's that we didn't want to see him. It's not that he wasn't announced. It's that we didn't want to hear him. We searched for him in golden altars, but he was among the silences. We imagined him among crowds, and he walked alone, waiting, watching, carrying the weight of judgment on his back, unseen, unheard, because the great truth, the one we refused to see, is that his concealment wasn't a divine mystery. It was a test for us, and we failed, and we ignored him. And now, only one question remains. Are we still on time to open our eyes? He never left. He was chosen and hidden from the beginning, before time, before history, before the fall. And while the world filled with noise, he kept silent. While religions were built upon dogmas, he remained hidden in glory, while men searched for signs. He simply waited, still, invisible, present, not to appear, but to be revealed. And when he was, it was already too late, because judgment is not announced, it manifests, and when truth is unveiled, there's no time to change it, only to fear it. He was chosen and hidden, but now, he is no longer concealed. You know it now, you've seen it, you've heard it, and now, only one question remains. Do you believe he's already been revealed? Leave it in the comments. And if this message shook you, subscribe, not for the algorithm, but for the truth. Because on this channel, we don't seek easy answers. We seek what was hidden, what is no longer taught, what disturbs. Share this video with someone who feels that something within history was concealed.